Matt.
And I'm Tat.
And welcome to the Matt and Tat's Excellent Adventures. So we're going to talk about the 47 hours she was in labor.
So we'll talk about how we brought our little boy into this world. I feel like I went through almost every process there is to go through in labor. And so I had this plan for delivering him naturally. It didn't go as planned. So I'm hoping to put this out there for all the women who are pregnant, or you may have a plan, you know, like to do everything natural and, you know, have like a spa-like experience. That didn't happen in my case. And
the reality is, it might not work the way you planned it. Basically, we had a birth plan where we weren't going to have her do anything unless she asked. Anything medical related until she asked. Hi, Tatiana.
Hey, Matt.
Now that it's almost midnight, how are you feeling?
Yeah, so much water, just a lot of water came down, so I should probably call the nurse. Because that would be your, you know, 24 hours after that bag of water initially broke. So that's why I want to just check in, see if, you know, where we're at, and then go from there.
Okay.
But that's a good sign.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Any change is good change.
Yeah.
So, are you in between contractions right now?
Yeah.
Thank you. Their deadline was midnight because if you already go 24 hours from your water breaking until you know, not dilating or having enough contractions to push the baby out, there's a high risk for infection.
What just happened?
Well, I'm upset right now because we have to leave the room. My contractions weren't strong enough and I'm not dilated enough. I'm only at 1 centimeter, and so now I have to get hooked up to an IV. Tried to get hooked up. It was really painful, and then it like blew a vein. I don't know. So now it's all puffy, so they're just gonna do it again. It's gonna hurt. I'm gonna have to be hooked up to monitors now, and we're going to another room, and I'm gonna be having to take Pitocin and some other pill. I forgot the name of it.
Starts with an M.
An M. Yeah, so I'm just disappointed right now because it's not going how I wanted it to go, and it was a lot, like all at once, like saying you're not going to be in the room, we're going to get up to the IV, we're going to give you these drugs to speed up the process, and it's already what time is it? It's almost 1. It's 1 in the morning, and I'm tired. I don't want to be doing this anymore, so I'm just really frustrated right now, but this is part of it. This is part of the labor. I mean, I know it's going to come out to be something really beautiful, but it's not easy, you know.
Yeah.
Okay, so here's my IV. It hurt like a beep, but we tried it on this arm and it didn't work out too well. It puffed up everything. It like hit a vein or something wrong.
Ruptured a vein.
It ruptured a vein and popped. So
yeah, veins of steel.
Yeah. And it was very painful. And then when she did this one, it was 5 or 6 times as painful as this one, and it still hurts. But anyways, I'm gonna be able to get what I need to get for this next session. So
stay tuned.
Stay tuned.
So here's a tour of the room. The room wasn't as bad as I thought it would be because we were in this beautiful birthing center room, and I thought we were going to be in this like small room with a bunch of other women trying to go through their labor. But we're actually in a private room, and it was comfortable and it was fine. The only thing was that we didn't have a king size bed to share.
Okay, so what this is a fetal kick monitor, and we're just seeing the baby's kicks, heart rate, right?
So it's an electronic fetal monitor. So it's just detecting the baby's heart rate, and it can see like the changes, the fluctuations, and how high and how low the baby's heart rate goes. And then the top one is your contraction monitor. It's a TOCO, so it just detects. It doesn't detect the like intensity. That's just based off of feeling it and asking you, but it'll tell us how frequently you're having those contractions. So we can kind of watch your labor.
Yeah, so this is helpful for me. I haven't been able to like track my contractions, like how long they are. I have this app on my phone, but I didn't even look at it. It's just hard for me to think about it all the time.
So how long do you have to be on this machine, or?
So now that you're on the labor side and we might augment, you'll stay on it until you deliver.
Okay.
But so there's this little guy, which is the same thing basically, just a smaller version. It's just being charged right now. I call it the purse. And you can put it on your IV pole or just carry it with you. And so those would plug here instead of this big machine. So you can still walk around, but then we still get to watch baby and your contractions.
Okay.
So, yeah. Same thing.
So I'll be walking around with the little purse.
Alright. Alright, so now you've taken the Pitocin.
Yep.
How's it feel?
Doing good.
Like 2.
Number 2.
Yeah, 2 Pitocin. They gave you level 2.
It's like so painful.
On a scale of 1 to 10, what level is it?
Oh, like 8 or 9 maybe.
It's just like a cramp when you're on your period or something, but just like intensified by like
10, like you said.
yeah, or 20. But then I started feeling the contraction, so I was like, okay, maybe this is happening. Okay, 7 hours later of me going through these horrible contractions, I couldn't take it anymore.
Yeah, it's just like every 3 or 4 minutes I go through this really intense pain cycle. I have to breathe through it.
I felt so bad for her. I was really feeling this. I saw her face, and she looked so sad, and she was in so much pain, and it was hard for me to watch and to see like that, you know? It was hard.
It's so hard. I can't. I'm getting so tired, and
she hasn't slept. You've slept maybe, what, an hour?
Yeah, I have
Yeah.
right now. Look at the
Again.
contraction again.
Contractions every few minutes. So she has to deal with that pain as well.
It just seemed like every contraction that was coming was like the devil was taking over me. It was so bad. I couldn't even take it. I was like, one more.
I'm getting these contractions every 4 or 5 minutes, maybe now. 3 to 5 minutes, and they're really uncomfortable. I need to sleep, so I'm gonna take the epidural.
And basically, the epidural, what it does is it numbs your body from the waist down, pretty much. This is from what I understand, and basically she'll be unable to use her legs until the epidural stops, which will be after her pregnancy, and then it'll take like about within a couple hours she'll be back to normal. I guess the only downsides of it is that she won't be able to feel the birth, which is, you know, kind of an upside, kind of a downside. but she won't be dealing with the pain, which is good. But also, from what I hear, she won't get the oxytocin release or the endorphins that people get from going through the birth.
So I would have contractions for like a minute and a half, and then sleep. The anesthesiologist came in and started to explain how the epidural works. And of course he was talking to me and I couldn't really understand him because I was sleeping.
Okay. Our goal with the epidural is to get you comfortable on both sides equally. Okay. The medication is to some extent gravity dependent as well. So as you go from, say you're on your left side, the medication will tend to favor that side. So if that's the case, we can just move you to the other side, as long as baby tolerates it. Okay. What questions do you have for me thus far about the procedure?
Should I lay down?
So what we'll have you do ultimately is you'll end up sitting in the bed either with your legs dangling and your back facing the window, or ultimately you can actually come up all the way on the bed and sit kind of crisscross applesauce.
Really relax, chin to your chest, and you're going to kind of curl up and put that lower part of your back out like a scared cat at Halloween, out towards him. Okay, and he'll kind of put his hands on your back and kind of tell you.
Are you listening, babe?
Yeah, you can relax right now. He's just going to clean your back off. But
I'm just going to feel with my hands here. That's what I'm going to curl around that pillow.
So you're going to do that kind of, scared cat. Push that lower part where he's kind of pressing
Right
his
here?
fingers.
Yeah. Push this out towards
Push it out towards him.
Other way.
There you go. Beautiful. Very good.
It didn't hurt as much as I thought it would. It started working and then I fell asleep. And then when I woke up, I was like a new person, huh?
Like 30 minutes after she woke up, she was like, "Hey, how's it going? I feel great, guys. Let's eat something."
Yeah, and the nurse was like, whoa, like, that's a big difference.
Hey, babe. So you just had your epidural. How do you feel now?
I feel so much better. My blood pressure dropped though, so they had to give me some medication to get it back to normal. What I'm going to be drinking is beef broth, and I have some Jello and some apple juice. I can only drink liquids, or like Jello's kind of a liquid, so that's it. And then they're going to put a catheter in me in about half an hour so that I can urinate, and everything should be good. I'm 3.5 centimeters, which is better because before I was 1 centimeter. And they said my cervix is good, it's flexible and everything, so I should be able to get this baby out, hopefully without tearing. So, but I'm excited because things are moving forward, and we're going to be able to meet baby Mark soon, and it already makes me emotional just thinking about it. So,
how do your legs feel now? They feel numb?
I can move my feet, see? I'm like moving my feet. I can move my feet, and I can bend my legs, so that's cool.
Okay.
Yeah,
Good.
but as far as contractions, I'm not feeling any contractions, and I'm really glad because those were just beating me up, you know? I was scared. Every time I got a contraction, I was scared because I thought I would pass out on the floor.
Yeah, just too much for your body, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Hey, Tatiana.
Hey, welcome back to another episode of How I'm Not Having a Baby Yet.
All right, so as of recently, we can see that the baby's heart rate is 178. I can't really see the imprint. I think 180, 181, 182 right now. And Tatiana's pulse is 118. Baby's 185, 186 right now, 187.
Yeah.
So baby's hot right now. So what they're going to do is they're considering giving Tatiana and the baby antibiotics to top this off.
Yeah, to bring his temperature down. But first we're going to try Tylenol and ice. And just like I'll eat ice and put cold towels on my head and stuff like that to hopefully bring the fever down. I don't have much of a fever. I'm like at 99. But baby's too hot, so he's struggling right now. So.
All right, well, stay tuned. All right, so what just happened here?
Well,
Cool. So the baby's heart rate is pretty high. It's like at 175, and I have a fever right now. So
What is your fever?
it's 101 something, and so I'm just laying down on my side and getting some more oxygen. And I'm going to, well, the good news is I'm at 5 centimeters. So I went from 1 to 3 to 5. So it's progressing. I just have to take antibiotics now because my water broke so long ago, and now it's creating an infection. So that's why I'm getting the fever. So I have to take antibiotics right now, and they're going to put it through my IV. And I just asked if I could eat something like broth or something, because I don't want to take it on an empty stomach. I don't know. I've had bad experiences in the past taking antibiotics on an empty stomach. So,
Father God, I ask that you be with Tatiana and Mark through this journey, and that you keep them safe, happy, and healthy. And I bless that you give the healthcare providers guidance and wisdom to do their absolute best and know exactly what to do during this birth. And I also pray that you would let everyone who is always who's wondering and asking about us, to let them know that we're safe and everything will be okay. And Father God, I pray that lastly that you give Mark an amazing life. Yeah, and keep in mind this is about 10 p.m.
okay. So the midwife just checked me. I'm at 9 centimeters, which is awesome because I'm almost there, and the baby is descending. So I'll be able to start pushing soon, and then we can get this baby out. So I'm so excited. I think this is a great position for us to be in. There's, we're all good, and I think this baby's going to come out happy and healthy, which is what we wanted. So,
All right, you ready for this, babe?
I'm ready.
High five.
Let's do it.
Matt, Tad, and Mark's excellent adventure.
Yay! I'm like.
Just wasn't coming out.
And right now we're about 45 hours into labor.
And then they came into the room and they said, look, there's meconium and it's going into his lungs. And when I heard that, I already knew it was a bad thing because it's very toxic.
All right, so what's the update?
All right, so this is the last part of our labor story. We're having a C-section, so they'll wheel me over in about 10 minutes, and then the baby will be born in the next, 15, 20 minutes maybe. But it's happening, and I'm really glad because the baby's going to come out safely, and I will be safe too. So we'll keep you in the loop, but we won't be able to put the camera in the operating room, so we'll just show you the baby afterwards and introduce you to Mark. Okay, love you guys.
And Matt got all dressed up into his white outfit.
Ready for surgery? All right, so this was a very interesting process. I feel like we experienced the whole, birthing from this whole fiasco, starting from square one, just coming to the birthing center at around like 9:30 in the morning, and this is about over, this is probably like 40 hours later. Now we had to go through all this stuff as you've seen in this video, and finally we're ending up with a C-section. So it's been an interesting thing. I feel in a way I feel grateful because we got to experience it all. I mean, at the same time, I wish Tatiana didn't have to go through so much pain and just like confusion, things like that. But at the same time, she definitely learned a lot, and I feel like she can help out a lot of people who are, you know, worried or scared about any of those things that she's been through already.
Yep, and they pretty much wheeled me into the operation room and then put up a kind of like a tarp so I couldn't see anything, and Matt was right by my side.
It was basically covering half of her body, so that had a tarp up, and half of her body she could not see and she could not feel because they gave her the medicine where she basically got numb from about her stomach down.
So they're all super professional, and I was like, these women know what they're doing. And then Matt was talking to me, and I felt really good about everything. And then they said, okay, all you're gonna feel is some pressure. And it kind of felt like someone was just stepping on my back. And then when they were pulling him out, and then when they pulled him up, they put one of the sheets down. It was like a plastic sheet so that I could see his face. And I just remember looking at Mark's face, and I was like, oh my God, this is the most beautiful baby I've ever seen. You know, some people ask me like, well, did you fall in love at first sight? And that's kind of the feeling that I felt.
Yeah, basically they pulled the baby out, and he was quiet for about a minute, and then all of a sudden it was, wah! Wah!